Moyale Donkeys Welfare Group chairperson Hussein Osman has warned donkey users against drugging their animals with bhang to allegedly work harder and longer. He called on locals to give donkeys physical and psychological care and protection, as well as medical attention like other domestic animals. Madam, I don't know why you look at
Let me go first, please.
Hey,
Let me go first. Teacher. So I don't know if you guys know, but I actually work for a donkey welfare charitable organization called Brook East Africa, and we champion the welfare of donkeys because people don't understand the value of this amazing equine. And this is actually a story that breaks my heart because I was recently in the field and I saw what donkeys do, and communities who depend on donkeys to fetch water, to fetch firewood, to sell in the market. And the thing is, because of how these communities are so impoverished, they overwork the donkey because the more the donkey works, the more money they make. But unfortunately, they do not realize the side effects of some of these things do to the donkey. Donkeys are made to work. And if they are not able to work, unfortunately, in some cases, they're euthanized or they're abandoned or they are shot. You know, so it is actually very heartbreaking to see what communities are doing so that the donkey can go the extra mile. We should honestly love our donkeys more.
We should. No, honestly, even when you're driving on the road, sometimes you see how they are being beaten, abused.
Whipped.
I have a question. So the bhang, actually the bhang, did you hear me? Because I don't know what that. Anyway, but what do they do? How do they give it to the donkey?
They put it in the fodder.
Oh,
they put it in the fodder so the donkey ingests it as fodder.
But see, even the bhang is still fodder in the leaves.
Does it work though? What are they talking about? That it makes them work faster and longer?
It keeps them alert.
Oh, so
it keeps them alert. And then when they are when they are overloaded, the weight of the load, they don't feel it. Because they are high technically, but the problem is because they're overloaded, the donkeys get wounds. And when the wounds fester, then the donkeys are not able to work, and then these people abandon them in the forest. It's really heartbreaking.
It's actually only in Lamu that I've seen a donkey hospital, and actually that really impressed me. Especially because in Lamu they rely on those donkeys. If you're not means of transportation in Lamu, if you're not moving with the boat in the water, it's the donkeys. So when I saw a donkey hospital, I was actually impressed. Then I remember sehemu za Moyale huko wanatumia punda sana, but sijawahi sikia hata siku moja kuna donkey hospital. Yenyewe watu wanafanya vibaya. Amina huko kwenu huko Moyale huko.
Dagete isiara bigia war Moyale lakisa. No, it's true though. It's really bad. It's really.
So you'll see when it is goats and sheep, because I was among the Maasai community. When it's goats and sheep, they had them like shoo shoo shoo, you know, like puppies. Like hey. When it is donkeys, and these are the donkeys that are carrying charcoal that they're going to sell to make money, so they can buy more goats and sheep. That thing is whipped. It is not seen as an animal of value, and it really is.
Man. I feel like, unfortunately, like donkeys are the ugly duckling of the horse family, you know. Just think about how horses are treated, how much they cost, what they eat. Maintaining a horse probably eats food worth more than you know, like in a month. And unfortunately, donkeys are just the beast of burden and they get the worst of it. It's definitely animal abuse. We would like to see it different. But then I also think we should study something about donkey biology and chemistry and what's happening in there. Because allegedly, from what I've heard in other spaces, bhang does not really give you energy and alertness. It's the opposite. It's lethargy and slowness and etc. So how come when ingested by donkeys, they're suddenly like, hey, I'm ready to work? It's giving Jabba. Something about
that's true. I was going to say it sounds like cat. And I don't know why Mariam and I sound so knowledgeable about it.
We don't. What he's saying,
no, but it's because it makes you alert, right?
So I'm wondering what about donkey biology makes the drug affect them like that? Maybe it's something to be studied that can be replicated. I don't know. Or maybe they
are made for work. Do you know that when a donkey is incapacitated, maybe because of wounds, it becomes restless because it knows, okay, it's time for me to work. You know, so it's
in their DNA.
It's in their DNA. So if you give them anything to enhance their performance in one way or another, they will overwork. And the problem is now it becomes an animal welfare issue where they'll overwork, they'll get wounds. And, you know, unfortunately, when a donkey cannot work, what happens is they are slaughtered and then their hide is sold to the East because apparently there's some fluid under the hide that is used for medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really heartbreaking.
So you're saying in the nature of donkeys, like ni kufanya kazi.
Ni kufanya kazi, they are made for work. That is why you'll find it's in very rare cases donkeys are domesticated because it is in their DNA to work.
So
let's
they are
not
working
fight.
equine.
Let's
Guys,
not fight
we have
nature.
to move on. Yani.
Let's not fight nature.
Don't
Kama
fight
kuna
nature,
kitu
but
iko kwa
don't
DNA.
enhance it.
No, tuachane na bangi,
but
tuachane na
don't
bangi.
enhance
Tuachane na bangi. Kama kuna kitu iko kwa DNA, tuache kupigana nayo. Hivyo ndio
Tuache
tunasema.
wafanye job basi.
Wafanye job, but
No,
we
but they
treat
should
them
be
well
treated
as our guide
There you
to
go.
economic progress.
Yeah.
Kweli. You know, going by what Mariam was saying, it's like pretty privilege in the
Yeah,
animal kingdom. Because the rat says squirrels. I saw this video. It was like, actually rats, squirrels are just rats with BBL and a pretty face.
Yeah.
Why are they treated so differently? If the squirrel can run it outside and like you feed them nuts and then anyway. But yeah, so let's keep it moving.